Hey everyone, YoshiRoll here, and today I thought I would do a Q&A of sorts. Now this isn't going to be some sort of announcement or anything, I'm just going to be reading off questions from the Discord server, and, well, Discord server, link in the description, same shameless plugin. I probably should have announced the Q&A here, but I just wanted to keep it restricted to Discord for this one, because I got quite a few questions. I had to whittle them down to be able to fit into a short video. So yeah, next time I'll try and notify you all of Q&A, but it's enough yapping, let's get on to the questions. Slash asks, why do you like Sonic Forces? Well, because I just find it fun. I mean, I don't really have any specific reasons. Like, I'm sure if I fought hard enough, I could probably think up something, but you know me, I'm lazy, so I'm just gonna say because I do.
YoshiRoll said I could ask my questions personally, and I'm not passing up an opportunity for shameless self-promotion. So I have a serious question and a joke question. The first question is, how did you make your banner? And my serious question is, do you know any super hip YouTube channels that have names similar to Red Swan? Thanks, Rollster.
So for the first question, I might have to explain that in a different video because it's a little bit long, and I don't want this to end up being super long. And for the second question, how about we go look that up? No. Next up, the Hero of Time 64 asks, what inspired you to do YouTube? Well, I don't, this is a bit of, not a super hard one to answer, but, well, like back in, I don't even remember what year it was, probably like 2012 or something, or probably much earlier than that, I started watching a YouTube channel by the name of Cute Mario Bros. And it was like, I know it wasn't 2012 now that I think about it. It was much earlier on than that. And they were one of the first channels I watched. So, they were my main inspiration whenever starting up my channel. And, my brother's channel, his channel was also an inspiration because, I used to do a bunch of plush videos with him, and yeah, that was really my main inspiration, just that channel and nothing else really, not that I can think of. Mario vs. Luigi 360 asks, when did you start YouTube? Well, to my knowledge, I started back in January 5th, 2014, because that's just according to my YouTube channel's About section. Rex asks, how do you feel comfortable with your voice, and do you have any tips for voicing over videos? Well, I mean, I just kind of grew into it. At first I was sort of uncomfortable with it, but I guess that's because I started at a younger age. Because, with my early on videos, the plush videos, I was using my voice, and I didn't really care because, no one was watching my content. I didn't even care if anyone was watching it. Like, I mean, I sort of did, but the thing was, no one was watching it, and it didn't really occur to me that it would be a bad thing for people to hear it. But, it doesn't matter to me much, so that's mostly why. And as for tips, maybe just, like, practice, and, do voice calls with others online. Stuff like that. Mystical Greninja asks, what was the first video game you've ever played? This is actually a pretty difficult one to answer because I honestly cannot remember exactly what game was my first. I want to say Wii Sports, on the original Wii, obviously. Or either that or something, maybe Super Mario 64 DS. I honestly don't remember. It's been so far back now. It's, I'm just gonna say for now Wii Sports. Dreamcast 64 asks, what was your first game console? Mine was the Wii. Brody T has two decently sized questions. The first being, what inspired you to start YouTube and what advice do you have for people who are wanting to start a YouTube channel? And second, why is your channel name based on Yoshi, and does Yoshi have a special meaning to you, or is it just a character that you happen to name your channel around? And third, how did you come up with your YouTube name? Was it easy or hard? So first of all, that's a lot of questions, and second of all, let's start off with the first one. So the first one, I already answered this, so you can just go back and watch that. And second, well, for people, like advice, I would just say do what you want to do. Just, you know, I hate to be generic or cliche, but just have fun with what you're doing, do the kind of content you like making, and maybe eventually you'll get somewhere. Next up for the channel name question, well, that's just because I like Yoshi, and he's probably my favorite video game character, and you know, that was basically that. And for next one, how did I come up with my YouTube channel name? Well, actually my brother came up with that idea. He just said to me the name, and you know, that was really it. You know, kind of boring, but eh. Apple Arcade asks, have you ever cried while playing a game, and have you ever played any rhythm games, and if so, what's your favorite? Well, first off, no, I've never cried at a game, but I don't have many emotions, as you all know. And for the second question, I have played a lot, like a few rhythm games, not a lot, but I would have to say my favorite is probably Rhythm Heaven Mega Mix. That game is just so freaking good. Check it out. Yeah. Boom. Squeevil asks, what's your favorite game and why? My favorite game, that's kind of a really hard thing to say, like which one for me to determine, because there are two games specifically that I really like, but my favorite probably overall is this one called Human Fall Flat, and it's mostly because of how much stuff you can do in each level in the game. It's a 3D platformer, you know, that's heavily physics-based, with a lot of puzzles and stuff, and the game really doesn't care how you play it, and that's why I find it so much fun. Slash also asks, how the heck do you edit so well, and will you ever do collabs with smaller YouTubers? So for the first question, well, I use the software Movie Studio Platinum 12, and, you know, it would take forever for me to explain how exactly I edit my videos, but I could do a general, description, but I'm not gonna do that here either, because, you know, I'm lazy. But, yeah, I might explain that later on. And for the second question, will you ever do collabs with other small YouTubers? Yeah, I'm always up for a collab as long as it's nothing like as long as it's something I find interesting, then I'll be good for a collab. I don't really care. Like, unless if it's someone I really don't know. Cyclone asks, why did you choose the name YoshiRoll? Well, I chose this name because it would be a lot shorter than my normal name, my old name. It was Yoshi 7 Egg Rolls, and you know, it's not a big mouthful, but it makes it harder to find me whenever you're using search terms. Slash also asks, what would you do if all the electronics in the world disappeared? Well, then I dead, I guess. Blade asks, what's your favorite Mario game? Well, if you've ever watched any top 10 games of 2017 lists, then you would probably know my answer. And finally, the most important question of them all. You like jazz?